Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. So, once again, we are talking about all the craziness that has been going on in the LCS, but really when we take a look across the seas over at the LEC, they have a bunch of craziness going on as well, and everyone has a take, everyone has an opinion about the benching of Sven, the benching of Alfari, some of the role swaps over in the LEC, some of the different roster swaps that some of those teams are making. There is a lot of different organizations, a lot of different managements, and a lot of different teams that are under a lot of fire, that are under, the criticism, the microscope, just the fire of a lot of the community right now, a lot of the analysts and Twitter people and Reddit accounts and everything out there right now. But the video that came across my feed today was Selfmade benching Sven and Alfari proves NA doesn't care about winning, and that sounded pretty spicy. That sounded pretty interesting to me. This LOL drama account is always coming through, so that's what we're gonna be talking about today. Definitely drop a like if you do enjoy it. I would appreciate it a ton. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. With that being said, let's get what Selfmade has to say. I wanted to say Sven for some reason. Let's hear what Selfmade has to say about the benchings of Sven and Alfari, two of the top players in the LCS last split, two of the top European imports to come over to the LCS. And right now, they're both sitting in academy, both making a lot of money to do so.
I mean, honestly, what happened in NA with them benching Sven and benching Alfari, it just proves that NA doesn't give a single fuck about winning. They just prove that.
So, obviously, Selfmade does not hold back there. He says that this proves NA does not care about winning at all. And honestly, this is the take and the opinion that I have heard from a lot of people out there right now. You know, the Sven benching does seem a lot about money. It really, really does seem like Cloud9 is trying to open up an import slot and trying to see how good King is, to see if they can sell Sven off for a lot of money, whether that's hundreds of thousands of dollars or whatever that amount of money may be. It does seem like, you know, it's not a move that they think necessarily makes them better in the summer split or better at this year's Worlds, but could potentially make the team better in the future by opening up another import slot. You know, that does start to give your team more options and everything. And then also, of course, trying to sell Sven, trying to make a lot of money. That's something Cloud9 does a lot. The Team Liquid deal, I don't really know what the incentive or the motivation is. Obviously, something, everyone keeps saying something must have happened behind the scenes. Something must be going on. There must have been some big blow up that happened during the game, after the game, during the meetings after, because it couldn't have been before the game. It couldn't have been, the last couple of weeks, because then they wouldn't even have played Alfari in the first place. So, people really don't understand what is going on there. But again, this reaction and this take, honestly, does mean a lot. One, there was some rumors and there has been some stories previously linking Selfmade potentially coming to NA in the future. You know, maybe being one of the guys that would want to jump ship and go to a Cloud9, to go to a Team Liquid especially, because Team Liquid in this next offseason, come November like 21st or whatever, Santorin is going to be a free agent. Team Liquid is going to be looking for a jungler. And when we go to the LEC contract database, we will see right here, Selfmade, he's still under Fnatic on the contract database, but there was a story that came out that said Selfmade has not renewed his contract with Vitality yet. So even though he's on Vitality now, there was no contract extending. He will still be a free agent this coming offseason. And, you know, again, that doesn't mean he was ever going to go to North America for sure or anything, but there has been some stuff linking him before. Obviously, when you look up Selfmade NA on YouTube, there were the quotes that says if he loses to Schalke, that he was going to go to NA. You know, there's been the memes and stuff before. And there are some top teams in NA that are paying a lot of money that could potentially be interested in him. Again, I'd always thought that Team Liquid would be a really, really logical landing spot for him. And for Selfmade to be saying, yeah, clearly NA doesn't care about winning, maybe that hurts the chances of not only Selfmade coming over to North America, but also other European imports as well, other European players. You know, that there's a lot of organizations in the LCS right now that are trying to get rid of the import rule, that want to be able to bring in more imports. And if they're hurting the reputation of their own organizations, their own brands, or just of the LCS as a whole, if they're, making it look like LCS organizations are incompetent and also will potentially be really, really hurting your career. You know, this could do a lot of damage to Alfari's career. This could do a lot of damage to the rest of Sven's career. Then maybe more top-level LEC talent and even mid-level LEC talent will be more reluctant to even come over to the LCS, and that really could hurt a lot of the organizations in the long run, again, because obviously so many owners want to have those teams and players and stuff. And again, if the thoughts are that LCS teams aren't focused about winning and that isn't their number one priority, some of these ultra competitive guys over in Europe might not be willing to come in. So I think this is a really, really bad look for both TL and Cloud9 in a lot of ways. Yes, the money's good. Yes, you have opportunities to go to MSI World. Yes, you get to live in Los Angeles. Life's a little bit easier. You get to make a little bit more money. But if you're treating the European players we have here bad, or even if they aren't treating them bad, if they're treating them bad in the eyes of other European players, that could be a detriment to the league and a lot of these organizations. But let's see what else Selfmade has to say about this situation.
Like, honestly, I don't even care what they did, and I can only assume that they got kicked for, I don't know, being toxic or something, but again, I'm sure they had reasons to be toxic, and yeah. Sven most likely said his jungler was dogshit, and I mean, he was right.
That is so funny, and that's another thing that I've heard a lot of people saying. I mean, I guess one there, a lot of the European players, are a little bit more blunt than North American players. Maybe that European mindset or way of talking or whatever is rubbing a lot of the North American players, coaches, organizations the wrong way. But also, that has been a big part of the community sentiment right now, is that Perks and Blabber are looking really, really bad. And Selfmade saying that if he said, if Sven was saying my jungler's shit, he wouldn't blame him at all. Potentially Alfari was saying some things about his teammates or about how the team was playing or how things were going along too, and he's saying they were probably being toxic. That's a story we keep hearing, but he wouldn't blame them either. And again, that makes it less likely for more European players like Selfmade to come over, because Selfmade's like, yeah, I would be toxic too. If I come over to the LCS, I'm going to be getting benched in a few weeks as well. So who wants that? It wouldn't work out for Selfmade, for the teams, or for anybody. And again, the LCS really isn't in a position where they can be picking and choosing too much about top talent, because there's not a lot of top talent to go around.
That's not a reason to replace that guy, bro. It's crazy. I mean, yeah, benching your the best performing player is like, I mean, maybe there were some like deeper reasons, right? But if you got benched for toxicity or for, internal stuff, then kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah, definitely mind-blowing. It has been to a lot of people. Again, yes, like he said, benching your best player. Alfari was second in the MVP voting last year. Sven was he first team All-Pro 80 carry? I can't remember if he was either first or second. I know he's top 3 for sure. And yeah, players like that getting benched is absolutely crazy. Now, again, it's easy to shit on a lot of the LCS management right now. Yeah, they're making some weird decisions, but again, there's plenty of weird stuff going on in the LEC, so it's not like Europe is doing much better. The whole Fnatic situation is a mess. You got Excel, you got, just all these teams making a ton of weird decisions. SK coming out of nowhere. So both regions for sure have their issues, have, weird things going on. Maybe the LCS stories are a little bit more shocking, a little bit weirder, a little bit harder to understand, but man, esports as a whole right now has a lot of issues. It seems like a lot of incompetent people. The scene is so young. A lot of people are getting these coaching, management, general management jobs with almost no credentials, almost no background. So I guess it shouldn't be too shocking that, they're making some weird decisions. But again, Selfmade coming out and saying that it's clear NA does not care about winning. And there's definitely a lot of other people that feel that way as well. And I'm just kind of really interested to see how this is going to play out, how all these stories end, and what it means for the LCS, what it means for European players, and what it means for Cloud9 and Team Liquid this season and into the future. But that was pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate it so much. Really does help me out with the YouTube algorithm. Leave a comment down below. Do you think Selfmade's right? Does NA not care about winning? Or were they right for benching Sven or Alfari if they're being toxic, if they're having issues? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace!